Okay, we are live.
We're live.
We are late as usual, but I guess everybody's gotten used to us and our seven ish. We are
Yes.
7:30 ish. Welcome everybody. Kevin's running late. He was doing a show in New Jersey. He texted us and said he's running late. So he's gonna jump on when he gets home. Um, and so Tiffany and I are gonna hold it down. In the meantime, the main topic today is the Democratic Party bad for Black people? A lot of Black people think that the Democratic Party are just racist people, uh, racist people posing as people who like Black people, but they're really not, and they just use our vote. So we're gonna get into it, but we're gonna chit chat about some other stuff until Kev gets here. So welcome, please like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. And of course, we're gonna kick the show off with our signature song. This song will hit #1 on the charts someday.
We got to do a music video.
Yeah, someday. Here we go. Oh,
That's not it.
there we go.
With the knowledge you gain, break away from the chains. We helping you grow the Black Therapy Show. You be in a safe space, dealing with the black trauma. We be packing and inspecting all our baggage and drama. Cause we gotta unite, no more killing each other. It's time to see a new future for my sisters and brothers. You know with Kevin, Carl, and Tiffany, you'll have an epiphany. We'll give you everything you need to handle the enemy. We be giving you empathy, we gon' challenge you mentally. The right conversation so you grow exponentially. We built your penitentiaries, we built all the schools. Gave us brainwash education, just making us fools. Hatred was what we got in exchange for love. No more manipulation from my God up above. It's Carl, Kevin, and Tiffany. Now welcome to the Black Therapy Show. Let's go.
Yeah. What's up?
Hey.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for checking us out. For spending.
Thank you for coming.
Tiffany, how are you?
I'm good. Remember, everybody, this is fair use, educational purposes. This is our views, our opinion. We just want to help whoever we can for touch. So far, so good. God is good.
Can you believe that guy has $2 million and climbing? That guy, Daniel Perry.
He got 2 million. Are you surprised?
Oh God, that just tells you.
Please. I'm not surprised. He has a lot of secret people that sent money and probably watches that video of that murder on replay. They actually just buried the young man too. Yeah. So rest in peace, Mr. Lilly. Yeah, he just got buried. I think it was this weekend just passed.
Yeah, we are walking amongst our haters. We are what low. I mean, that's not even. Greetings, AB from YouTube. Thank you for hanging with us today. We are walking amongst our killers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
or people that hate us,
yeah.
You know, or despise us, dislike us, you know, for nothing.
This is why I don't understand why don't we all just realize and come together. I mean, this whole come together thing's been said. I'm sure it's been said hundreds of years before I even said it. But for some reason, when we see this stuff, we still can't seem to, you know what I mean, cohesively
pull it together.
I mean, like, look at how the Jews, like, how they, when you mess with one, they all come together. Like Kanye said one thing, and then some Jewish guy that works for, was it Capital One Bank or something like that, froze his accounts. All the Jews, and you know what I mean. And everybody seemed to do it, the Asians, but for some reason we just can't seem to.
First of all, you got to remember different backgrounds.
Yeah.
Different whole way of life, way of thinking. They don't see certain things that we have to see and deal with, you know. And then remember our color. We can't get up and wash our color off every day, you know. So yeah, we would never understand it, but we have to have healing within our community first before we can go out there and take on the world. We have to be strong inside. So we have to, that's why we do this show. We know we have to talk about it to see how can we do healing with our family, with our friends.
Yeah. I mean, it just kind of baffles my mind why we see it every day. We see how we treat it every day, and we're still divided. You know, I don't understand why we just can't pull it together the way everybody else does. But you know, like you said, we all deal with trauma differently, I guess. You know,
Yeah.
and I don't have an answer for it. Hopefully, someday, you know, somebody will figure out why. You know, like we seem to go in different directions. I mean, we got this thing where Black Americans and Black people from Africa and Black people from the Caribbean butt heads. You know,
But everybody want to be here in America.
yeah. You know,
That's the crazy thing. Yeah, it's a curse and a blessing.
yeah,
You know, we had to, how can you say, we built this country, you know, so that we can have some type of peace, and we had to fight for that. So many people have came from other countries coming here for that same peace, and I get it, you know, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't want no other. I can deal with the oppressor we already have. I don't want no Asian oppressor. I don't want no Russian oppressor. I'm good with the one we got.
So Tiffany, you had a couple of things you want to talk about before Kev jumps on, and if he can't get on too soon, then we're gonna have to go ahead and take the topic and just run with it. But
Well, you know, we want to send our prayers to the family in Harlem. I don't know if you heard about the two young men that were found dead in Harlem River. They
yeah,
still trying to find out what happened to them. It's just very sad, and we really pray and talk to our parents. You know what happened to that commercial? It's 10 o'clock. Where's your children at? We need to know where our children are at, you know. And I know they want to go out, they want to have fun, but when they 11 and 12 and 13, we have to be on point. I just know these parents are going, I can't even imagine what they're going through and the community is going through with these two young men. So we definitely, you know, we don't have a lot of what's going on. So that's why I don't, you know, we just want to send love out to them because it's all over. It was on the internet and on the news and stuff. We want to send, you know, our sincere condolences to that family, to those families.
Telma T just chimed in on YouTube. I say Telma Tima Thema Tima T.
Tima Taylor, you better stop messing up my baby mother name. I keep telling you.
I'm so sorry, Tima Taylor. She said it right. She said we need more community associations like back in the day. Folks were so serious about coming together, not just for the block, but for the community overall.
Yes.
But we lost that though, right? We seem to lost that. You know,
well, think about it, you know, even down to the church, you know, because the church had a lot to do with it too. But once the church started taking faith-based money from the state, they just forgot about the inner cities. And then you see a church on every corner, and nobody's getting healed or saved. Nobody's helping this community. So yes, we need to have more outreach for our youth. You know, our parents must get more involved. I don't care how busy you are. You know, we have to get involved. I also want to give, you know, some love. I don't have a lot of information, but as a young lady, our young people are taking their lives. You understand? Because they are being bullied in school. Please talk to your children. Communicate with your children. Please, if they're having issues at school or having problems, please go and assist them, because we do not want our children suffering in silence. We do not, you know. So like I said, you know how you were saying how different cultures, different backgrounds, different races, we have different trauma than what everybody else have. They will never understand our trauma or what we have to go through. So we have to be more open and start communicating for healing.
yeah, absolutely. I believe when you say that Black Americans have a different trauma, it is so true, because like when I hear Black people from the Caribbean and Black people from Africa, they come to America and they're like, Well, and they do look down on Black Americans. And Paul Mooney said that people from the Caribbean and people from Africa think they're better than and that is absolutely true. Not all of us, but a lot of people come to America and they think that, oh, look at me, I can do this, and they have been here and they can't do it. But it's so much going on behind the scenes that we don't even know. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, okay, so Black Americans kind of jumped on the grenade for everybody else Black that came after them.
Right.
If you guys didn't go through the civil
rights era, Jim Crow era.
Right. I was thinking like we would be the ones getting hit in the head and dogs and being fire hose.
Yes.
That would have been us. So Black Americans did all of that stuff so that people can come. But people from the Caribbean and Africa, we just come here and the roads are paid. The roads already been paid for us, and we just assume that it's always been like that.
No, and it hasn't. When you're supposed to do the history.
Right.
And once you do the history, you like, wow.
Yeah. People died for us to enjoy life here.
Yeah.
But somehow that gets lost, So you want to get into the Democratic
I thought you wanted to talk about the young. This happened last week, but you said
you wanted Ebony K.
Ebony K. Williams. You wanted to talk about that.
Okay, we can chit chat about that because that kind of set the internet on the firestorm. Here it is. It was her opinion, but obviously you're not allowed to have your own opinion, but here we go.
Know that you've said that you cannot teach a man or tell a man how to be a man. So I will not ask you to indict men in this question. But I do want you to speak, Iyanla, to how women need to, position ourselves so that we can be in our divinity, so we can have our crowns right, how we can create and not build. When some of us, quite frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum, trust me, I've done them all, they are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes. They're not having the resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
Would you date a bus driver? Would you date
if he owns the bus? If he owns it, if he owns the bus,
that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. Okay. Because the standards and requisites, and I'm not talking about him laying on his sofa playing video games all day. I'm not talking about that. But the standards and the criteria that we use to measure men is off for who we are as women and who they are in this society. I would date a bus driver if he loved driving the bus. If he was a man of integrity, if he was good to his mama, if he treated me well, I would date a bus.
All right. So, Tiffany, your thoughts? Would you date a bus driver?
Yeah. Like, listen, nobody, I'm telling you, my baby mother called me Baby Iyanla, okay? That is my queen mother. I salute her, and it's so well because both of those two ladies are lawyers, they entrepreneurs, they are on this, but they can date anybody they want to date, So I think what went wrong was the attitude of the young lady, like, nope, he gotta own the bus, But just like Iyanla said on her, because I saw her response, she said that one bus can break down. She didn't say the whole company. Okay. So the thing is that a lot of women are wanting these 7-figure men, and they can't even give a 7-figure man the mentality that he needs. Something that Kevin Samuel said, can you help a man solve a problem? Would you be able to help him in certain situations? So you have to be able to give a 50-50. Mentally, y'all can be able to work on the same level. And she wants somebody that is of high level that can be able to take care of her. I can understand the what's her name? I don't remember her name, but I can understand her situation. But like Iyanla said, if he loves his job, he's good to his mother, and she also said if he took care of his children that he sired, you know, and he loves me, I wouldn't have a problem. It's not all about the money, it's all about the love, you know, and you care about them, care about him.
But I mean, that seems to be the running theme, though, with a lot of women, though, that you got to have a certain amount of financial wealth before they even look at you. I think it was Chris Rock that did a bit where he goes, when a man's dating a woman, his friends ask him, what does she look like? Is she pretty? You know, was she nice? Is she nice to hang out? When a woman's dating a man, what do her friends ask her?
Mm-hmm.
He do? What does he do for a living? Like, what kind of car does he drive? What kind of house does he live in?
Right.
So, I mean, what kind of message that sends to men that we are just banks? You know what I mean? We're not.
You said you're just banks.
Yeah, nobody cares how we feel. Nobody cares about us, our emotions, or nothing. It's just, what can you do for me? I mean, what did Janet Jackson say? What have you done for me lately? Like, we always have to be able to do something, you know, to get the woman's love. I can't just be myself and get your love and get you to love me if I'm a nice guy. Seems like the serial killer with the big mansion and the Porsche in the driveway.
They'll pick that one because
they'll pick that guy rather than the guy driving the bus who goes to church, loves his mom, and, you know, takes care of his kids. It all seems to be financial when it comes to men. And a lot of men, as a man, I can tell a lot of men realize that. And that's why a lot of men use women. And that's why they get the fancy car, and, you know, they know that attracts a certain type of, but that's a certain type of woman. I'm not going to sit here and say
no, yeah, because it's all different type of women, it's all different type of men.
Yes, you know, but I don't know if these women have taken over the internet, but every time I see a video about a woman talking about a man, it's like, what can he do for me? What does he have? What kind of cars he drive? How much money he needs to make? 200,000. He needs to make 400,000.
That's a lot for me, because my thing is, do you make 200,000? Do you make 100,000? Like I'm saying, if he has a house, you should have a house. If he has a car, you should have a car. If you talking like that, you know. But I think that first of all, no woman want no broke man. Okay, let's say that we want you to be comfortable or financially stable to take care of yourself. We don't want no bums. If you know, let's put that out there, because I don't want anybody to say you're not stable for me. We don't want bums. We want men that can take care of themselves. But also, I hope women don't go in and say, "Oh, I need him to do this. I need him." No. How about if we do it together? You understand what I'm saying? And when you are in love with somebody, nothing matters. Y'all going to make sure both of y'all are taken care of regardless.
But it seems, though, but I get the feeling that a lot of women don't see potential. You know what I mean? Some women do, but there's a lot of women who don't see potential. If you meet a guy and he says, and the guy says, I'm in law school, I'm working my way through law. It seems like a lot of men, well, you know what, come back and talk to me when you own the law firm.
Well, listen, that's wrong. That's wrong.
I mean, you just seen it with the girl said, he owns the bus. It's like they want you to have it all when you don't step to me unless you have everything that I need.
Keep it real. Think about that sister. Look at her. If you are going to come to her as a man, you better come correct. Because you can see how she carry herself, how she takes care of herself. She wants you to come correct. You cannot come to her and come broke, or come like she's not going to talk to you.
So those women are not really looking for someone to love them and for them to love. They're not looking for love. They're not looking for someone to make them feel special. And you know what I mean? They want to know, can you take care of me? That's not love then. So, you know.
And don't get it twisted, because you got men that go with women that they know are very vulnerable, or they can be able to control, or they can mold them the way they want them to be molded. You know, because you have men like that also. They can't deal with women that are experienced. So it's like, it's so many different levels to this. But to women, you know, if a man is good to you, he's nice and he has his own, he's stable. And like they said, he loved his mother, because that's a big thing. I tell women all the time, get with a man that love his mother, because when he love his mother, he's going to love you. Because if he has issues with his mom, it's a possibility he's going to slap your ass. Okay. So find somebody that you know that loves his mother, loves his job, took care of his children, and he's into you. And that should be it. And if you see a red flag, run. And that goes for men too. You know, find somebody that wants you for you, not for what you can give them and everything. Because let me tell you something, I get it. You know, if you're going to take a woman out, you need to be able to take her out and make her feel good. You understand what I'm saying? Especially if you want to spend time with her. So like I said, it's a 50-50. You know, I can feel like this, you can feel like this. But, you know, when you into somebody, nothing matters.
But that encourages men to use women, though. Women like her would encourage men to just
men use women and women use men. It's out there. We hope that y'all can stop doing that. Please be genuine. People need to be genuine. If you into somebody, you into somebody. And I'm a true believer of everything that glitter is not gold. So everyone that you see, like, oh my God, he's beautiful. Oh my God, she's beautiful. Oh, he's good. Sometimes all of that niceness is not nice. Get to know somebody. And you will figure out if you want to spend time, or if he's a bus driver, he's a financer, you know, you will see, you will feel it out.
So I mean, what I learned from that clip, I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying all women, but can you? So what happens is you meet a guy, he has all this money, you don't really love him, but you like the money he has. Eventually, I would learn to love him. Is that the way that works? You don't meet a guy, you fall in love with him, and then you realize he has money, and that's like a bonus. It seems like, you know, you go after the money, and then you think to yourself, maybe I'll learn to love this guy. Is that the way that works? I don't know. I'm a woman. I'm not a woman. I'm asking it.
Again, I'm different. You know, I saw my mother love my father. You understand? He had a job. He had his own place. She had her own place. Like, you know, like they had their own. So I think that when you come in already ready built, because no woman want to be with somebody that's not put together. I don't want to date somebody that's still at his mom's house. Right. Or he is roommating with somebody. You understand? Like, we want somebody that is stable, you know? So I get it. And there's nothing wrong with you wanting that. Because if you want somebody stable, it's because you're stable, you know? So my thing is, again, everybody's different. I don't have a problem with dating a bus driver. I don't have a problem with dating a mailman. You understand? As long as you nice and you cool and you can pay your own and if you want to do something nice for me, that's on you. You know, that's not what I'm looking for. Oh, you need to make 7 figures. You need to, but I do tell you this. You know, I hope your credit is clean. Because if my credit is clean, your credit should be clean.
But you know the funny thing about wanting a man that makes a lot of money, because what if a guy is making $250K a year, but he's in debt $400,000, $500,000? You know what I mean? Think about that. Like, you know,
all of this starts off when you go on a date, right? Or you talking or you communicating with somebody. You're learning things about them. You know, you seeing if they know how to save money, or they, you know, like I said, when you communicate, you can be able to figure out certain things. You know, if you want to deal with it or if you don't want to deal. Not everybody's going to tell you their business anyway either. I'm not just going to come out and tell you, oh, my credit score is 5,700. No, you know, you shouldn't have to do that. You know, you get to know somebody. You would know a bum if you have a bum, or if you have somebody that's put together, or somebody that have a little bit. Because you will have rich people that will wear dirty ass sneakers, and their bank accounts is larger than the world Lord allow. You understand? That you have people with nice sneakers don't even have a bank account or a life insurance. You know, so it's like I said, everything is different.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen videos where women say, "I'm the prize." Like when they're dating a guy, I'm the prize. Like,
again, can you solve a problem, darling? Are you do you know how to take care of men? Do you know how to have a conversation? Do you know how to cook? Do you know how to clean?
No,
Because a lot of women don't know how to do these things. These women want maids and everything. You know, they want you.
yeah.
You gotta listen. I be listening to some of these people when they be dating. They be asking for too much and they not giving enough.
Yeah, I think that's just a small percentage of men. I think the decent women are the silent majority.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't think most women think like that because there are millions and millions of women out there whose husbands are plumbers and electrician, bus drivers.
Those make money.
Yeah,
Plumbers, electricians, all of them make money. What? I
yeah.
would love to have a plumber or electrician.
And those women are quite happy. But I don't know if it's a younger generation thing.
Maybe it is, but I like the plumbers, electricians, even the ones that fix elevators. What?
Yeah.
Sure. You got them flag guys making $30-$40 an hour in the construction.
Yeah.
That's money, you know? Sure.
But even $40 an hour is not enough for some women. You know, they
Listen, that's a job.
yeah.
You get up and you go
you know,
to work every day.
What percentage of men make that kind of money? Though it's a very, very small. The average man in America, from what I heard, makes like 50,000 a year.
Yes. So right. So where's all these women finding these 7 and 8 and 10 and 20 figure men at? Where's they at? It's only a few of them.
Yeah. So and then they get mad when the man starts cheating because he's trying to fill up a quota. You know, there's only a few of them, and every woman wants them. So you know, yeah. The AB is absolutely correct. Most females can't even hold a conversation. That is true.
Right. And then you have some men that don't even want their wives to hold a conversation. Just sit there and look cute. And just give them allowances. So I'm just saying everybody's different.
Yeah. But I mean, when she said if he owns the bus without missing a beat, you know, it just, you know.
But if you, like I said, if you listen to Iyanla said, she said bus. She didn't say bus company. It's a big difference. You understand? Because Iyanla said that bus can break down.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So would you help your man, you know, fix the bus back up and build the, because my thing is, the best thing is power couples. I love power couples. When you can build something with your partner and really do your thing, I love it. I love it, you know, but people are not thinking about growing. Back in the 40s and 50s, we believed in marriage. They really fought for marriage and family, and they owned businesses together. They did businesses together. You know why? Because the whites didn't want us in their stores. They didn't want us touching any of their things. So we had to be the carpenters. We had to fix our own things, you know. So listen, I'm for couples building and making money together. I'm for relationship. That's what it's all about. It's about love, but it's also building. Because you have to build a foundation for your children and for your family.
Yeah, we're gonna close this out by just saying that's just a small minority of women.
Right. It's everybody's a percentage.
Yeah, and she has her opinion, and if that's the way she wants to go about her life, and it's obviously it's working for her.
Well, she's very successful.
Yeah.
She has money. So if she wants to find a man that have that too, boo, get it. She probably got a white boyfriend or had a white boyfriend before.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I looked her up and I saw she had some white dude. Yeah.
See, so girl, you're a finer.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna move on. We're gonna get into our main topic for the day, for the night. Actually, is the Democratic Party bad for Black people? Okay, we're gonna get into it. So here we go, Tiff. Are you ready? You strapped in? You got on your seatbelt?
Yes, because of you and your videos.
Here we go.
Keeping it real, what I'm about to say may touch a lot of people, make a lot of people angry, and after what I'm about to say, I'm going to be called Uncle Tom or Oreo or whatever you want to call me. But you can call me what you want, but I'm going to say this right here. Black people need to wake up to voting for Democrats. Okay? For years you believe that the Democrats are for black people. Okay? They're not for black people. Okay? And I'm saying this from my knowledge of knowing what's really going on. Okay? You quick to say you went out and you voted for Joe Biden, many of y'all. And then when somebody says that they are a Republican or go with the Republicans, they saying that we are traitors to the black cause. That is not the black cause. Democrats are not for black people. A matter of fact, if you go look it up, history shows that the Democrats wanted to keep slavery going, but the Republicans wanted to abolish it. Go check it out if you don't believe what I'm saying. And like I said, you can call me what you want. And what you need to stop doing is, if you really say that you love God, the Joe Biden administration, and I say it again, started by Obama, and he didn't do nothing for black people, okay? And he was a so-called black man that was in office, okay? He didn't do nothing for you. I tell you this, Trump did more for the black community than Obama did, and that's a fact. Okay, that's why I stand for Donald Trump. You know why I stand for him? Like I say all the time, he's not political correct. He's morally correct. Everything that's pro and for God, this man is for. Trump is not for abortions. He for life. Trump is not for homosexuality. He believes in male and female. But guess what the Biden administration does? They want to make men females and males females and make females men. That's what they want to do. And see, they want to reprogram us to accept this garbage that's going on with all this transgender this and transgender that. If you weren't born, like I said, a male or a female, you're not that. You can't create that. You can't make that. God is the only ultimate creator. And for those that don't like what I say, oh well, you better get used to it, because I believe in the truth. And the thing about it is, you need to wake up, black America, Americans, and know that Biden is not for the people and the Democrats are not. Keep
All right. All right, I got one more to hold on.
Five things that black people can do today to affect change in our community. Number one, stop supporting rap music. Rap music profits from our destruction. They do nothing but promote negative stereotypes about black people. Number two, stop voting for Democrats.
My favorite.
Democrats have been using black people for the last 60 years. They do nothing but use us for our votes. Number three, if you know a man that's not taking care of his children, call him and let him know that he's a disgusting piece of trash.
Preach.
And he's the reason why, the main reason why, the black community is in the situation that it's in right now. Number four, stop supporting race hustlers like Black Lives Matter. They do nothing but profit from our division. And number five, my favorite, stop looking at white people to fix our problems.
Ooh.
Look at black folks to fix the problem, because we're the ones in it.
I like him.
All right.
I like him.
I mean, he said a lot of truth, you know. But is the Democratic Party okay? Even if the Democratic Party back in the day is it that way now?
No. First of all, I tell anybody, it's like they like both. They're the same thing. They both. But to be honest with you, black people were Republicans first. We fought on the Republican side because of Abraham Lincoln. Because during that time, they were trying to make, the slaves free. They was trying to remove, during that time, they did all of that. That's why they assassinated his ass, and that's sad, because he was trying, he even, in a way, he tried to send us back to Africa also. But Frederick Douglass told him, said, no, you brought us over here and we built this country. We staying right here. So Frederick Douglass was a firm Republican, and his thing was Republicans is freedom and progress. Okay. So I think in the early, like the 1800s, for almost, I think the late 1800s, probably the 1860s, 1870s, for like 10 to 15 years, Black people were Republicans. And then the Jim Crow era came, the segregation, all of that came. And that's when it switched. They switched. But what helped the switch is when Martin Luther King got assassinated. During that time, Lyndon B. Johnson was trying to make a lot of changes and stuff and trying to connect with the Black people, and it switched right over during that time. But yes, we were Republicans. We was Republican first because we was fighting for our own, to be on our own, to work on our own, because they didn't want us nowhere near, like I said before, near anything. So yeah, it did change. Are they for us? I don't know. Have you saw a change, since you've been here in this country?
I mean, when I came to this country, it was always Black people. Democratic Party was,
Mm-hmm.
You
said for 60 years.
Yeah, but so I couldn't find a video, but I saw a video where this guy's argument was the amount of welfare that the Democratic Party pushes on Black people, it keeps them poor. It keeps them in that state of mind that they live in a ghetto. You know what I mean? They have that Section 8 where they pay $40 a month for rent. The government pays the rest. So what's the incentive to get out of poverty
But that's not for everybody. That's not for everybody, because it is people that were on welfare, did have Section 8 or did need assistance, and they was able to come out of it. A lot of people do become comfortable, but you already know, and if you don't know, every time we try to step up or try to do something in the system knock us right back down.
I would like to find out exactly what, because saying that something knocks us down, people would say, well, what? Like what's keeping Black people down? Like,
it's like always a red tag or a red tape or a red lining, or it's something like every time we like this, we about to be here, it's something, or we got to pay this extra, or we got to do this more. And you like, Dad, we never get a break. It's always something.
Yeah.
So we've been asking for rights for years, especially with the killing of the police brutality, but the Asian community was able to get their law passed. So that's what we're talking about, dealing with the system. Like every time we try to do something or try to make change, they take time on our changes. So then you think about Claude Anderson, and he said we have to start having our own politicians come in. We have to start putting more money into politicians to be able to fight for us, because that's why the LGBT got this far, because they put money into Obama. They put money into Biden. We as Black people don't put money into ourselves.
Remember when there was a certain part of the Republican Party that didn't like what the Republican Party was doing, and they started the Tea Party?
Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Actually got people elected to office with the Tea Party. Like, what's stopping Black people from just, pulling away from the Democratic Party, starting our own thing and electing our own officials?
Or going independent.
Right.
Now, I heard that because I was looking around. I've been, since you gave me the topic, they was like, why we don't go independent? Yes. That would be something,
But what's stopping? Somebody's asking for Kevin. AB's asking. Kevin's running late because he did a show. He was driving back from New Jersey, and he texted us and said he was stuck on the Pike, the New Jersey Turnpike. So he may or may not make it because he's in like upstate New York, somewhere up in there where all the rich folks live. That's where Kevin lives. So
you stop.
And then it takes his driveway is like 2 miles long before you can see his house. So No, but Kevin, yeah, he had a show and he's running late. So if you're looking for Kev, that's
Hopefully he'll slide in. We can
yeah.
catch him.
So yeah, so I mean, like I said, people say that the fact that I mean, there are generations. The same guy that made the video said welfare is like generations, like the $40 a month that they're paying for rent gets passed on to the next generation of children, and they pay $40 a month, and when they're gone, it just keeps going and going. So where's the incentive for Black people to get out of poverty? And the Democratic Party is always pushing incentive, giving more incentives, and it just keeps them in that cycle.
And you want to hear something? If you go to the South, it's so totally different. They don't even got those benefits. They can't even get Medicaid. If you middle age, you can't get Medicaid. Their minimum wage is $6 to $7 an hour. Okay, they don't have how we have the Section 8. They would have 5 houses for Section 8 for 400 people or 300 people trying to get help. So in different states, in different places, it's not good. And those is mostly Republican states, and Georgia just turned into a Democratic state. So it's a lot of places that don't get these benefits. They don't get it. So, I think it's different stories for different states, different places, different counties, because a lot of people are not getting help and assistance.
I think the thing is, a lot of people, we don't see the underlying ways that people, like you talked about environmental racism.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was a thing until you mentioned it, and I started looking it up.
Mm-hmm.
It is a thing. Environmental racism. There's financial racism.
Mm-hmm.
There's real estate racism, if you want to call it that. About there was a lady who was put a house up for appraisal, and the appraise came in low.
Yes.
And her husband is white, she's Black. They took all the pictures out of her for her family and her.
To switch out. I think didn't Kevin say he had to do that too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
just to get
right. They lowballed her house. So they do stuff like that. They don't come right out and say we're going to give you a little appraisal on your house because you're Black. But if that's what we're seeing, imagine what we don't see.
Right. Right.
And
they tell you if you don't ask, they will not tell you.
That's why on applications, when they ask for your race, then are you Black? Are you Latino? Are you non-Hispanic? Are you this? Are you white? I reluctantly go, should I? I mean, will this hurt me or help me if they know my race?
It's like you damn if you do. Sometimes like certain ones I put other. Like if I want to, just to mess with them. But no, I'm happy with who I am. And if you choose me, you choose me. If you don't, you don't. Because I already accept the world. And a lot of people do. We already accept that they're going to be discriminated against us. We already know this. You understand? So you just got to know how to handle and how to deal with it. So you pick me, you don't, you don't.
Yeah. So like I said, I don't know, if I put that I'm Black, would my I remember working for a company when I first came to this country, and there was this guy that I used to work with. Back then, you used to fill out applications, and there used to be stacks of applications on the manager's desk. And this white dude used to come in and go through the stack, and if any name sounded Jewish, he used to put it in the trash.
That's discrimination.
Yeah. He used to put it in the trash. And and they used to laugh about it, because he used to go. The manager wasn't there, so the manager didn't know what was going on, and I even didn't understand, like the whole Jewish and Black.
Yeah, because you didn't work on that level. You didn't know that.
I was so naive when I first came to this country, but it was a temporary job. I was working for a temp agency, but this. Years later, when I thought about it, I'm like, I guarantee, like when I wasn't there, or when he probably used to go through the same stack and look for Black people, names that sounded Black, and do the same thing.
I think a lot of people do that. A lot of people do that, and they just be nice in your face. Oh, we're not hiring, but behind they ripping up your thing. We ain't hiring no black people. It happens, and it's not only with black people. Like you said, it's all different type of culture, people of color. Because I have to make sure is a difference, black people and people of color. But they do it to people of color too. If they say, oh, I don't want them. And you have people that's prejudiced against different races. I had a client. She was a Haitian client. She did not want no Jamaican lady on her hair. And I'm like, we all do hair. We all are good in here. She just didn't want it, And she said, are you American? I said, yes. Oh, do my hair. I didn't know. I'm like, why? Yeah. Why would you feel like that? We all do good here, but you have people that is very prejudiced, And that's how the world is. And it's sad. It's sad that we have to live in the world.
Probably ran into one Jamaican that rubbed her the wrong way. So now all Jamaicans.
Yeah, now all
Yeah, because I've run into people that had issues with Jamaicans, and now they want nothing to do with anyone from the Caribbean. Like, they always say, you people from the Caribbean this, or you people from the Caribbean that, and they don't seem to get that the Caribbean is like little countries, like
little islands.
Yeah. They seem to think that I can walk from Barbados to Jamaica, or you know what I mean? Like, no.
Right.
Even though, like, you're doing to me what you don't like being done to you.
Yes, that's that's like your own people.
You don't like to be stereotyped. When white people say all black people are this, you get mad. But now you're telling me you people from the Caribbean are this, or you people from the Caribbean are that. And you don't see the irony in that.
It's horrible. Like, you judging me because of that. Listen, I don't have people want to talk to me because I'm a big girl. And I didn't get it until Oprah said it. Oprah said when she was fat, certain people wouldn't talk to her. But as soon as she lost the weight, people the ones that never talked to her, all of a sudden start talking to her. So when it happened to me, I was like, wow, bitch, I don't care. You don't have to talk to me. I don't like skinny people all the time.
I did not know that was a thing. Like,
it is a thing. It is a thing. A lot of women won't talk to me, if I'm a big girl, or you have men that won't even communicate with me or talk to me. And there's other women that go through it too. So I'm comfortable with myself. It doesn't bother me. So
wow. I mean, we gotta do a show on that, all the different kinds of discrimination. And that's something I never even thought about.
Yeah, it's a lot of discrimination. It's not just like black and white. It's all different type of things. Small, tall, light skin, little person, dark, light, it's all different type of, she's bald-headed. I don't date bald-headed women. Oh, she got too much hair. She gotta have a wig. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, he don't wear enough Jordans. Like, it's all, people discriminate, and it's sad.
Yeah. G Car says, but either party may not care about black people. They're all the same to me.
Right. I feel I feel the same. So that's why I feel like if you have a candidate that is talking for you, and you feel it's for your community and it's for your rights, vote for them. That's how I feel. If I see somebody I like and I think that you're good and I think that you can be able to do something for me, I will vote. Now, the Trump thing, the guy has said with the Trump thing, yeah, I get it. I can deal with Trump because Trump is white out loud. Trump would tell you who he is straight up in your face. I like my white people like that. I don't like white people to be laughing up in my face and then be calling me a nigga in the back. You understand? He tells me who he is. But when he did that insurrection and he started that beef, because he started that. You can see that he started that. And if that was a black person that started that, he would have got his ass locked up, okay? So when he started that insurrection, now you're going too far. I'm all about business, and because I understand America is run by a business. It's like a business. I can understand you running and doing certain things, but when you about to start hate against us people, especially people of black people, no, you're doing too much. You're doing too much, So I thought he was out of order. So that's probably why he wouldn't get my vote. because I'm not with that racism crap. You understand? I know that you racism, but when you want to try to hurt us, you know, and you seeing other people, you know, they still finding body parts from that young man, Rashid. You understand? Still finding body parts from him in the same vicinity where they found him at. See, that's too much for me, you know. So when Trump showed me that that's what his people represent, that was a lot for me. So that's why I wouldn't mess with him now.
Yeah. You know, last week we mentioned we were going to try to figure out, did we look? I didn't find out where the term African American came from.
Oh yeah, we got to look that up.
Yeah.
I think that's what Kev was supposed to do, but
Right.
we see he's in traffic.
Yeah.
You got to catch it next week. We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, the whole African American thing, because who was it? Morgan Freeman said he doesn't want to be referred to as African American. Smokey Robinson said he doesn't want to be.
But look at him. He is light skinned. He don't know what he is right now, but he better know he is still a black man under that light skin. They don't care about. Listen, I'm American, but I have African descent. My ancestors, you know, are from Africa. That's it. You know, I don't know why is it up.
It's Kev. What up, Kev?
Hey, what's up?
Kev.
They were looking for you, man. You have people looking for you.
I apologize for being late. Traveling comedian, so just getting in. Traffic was horrible coming up through Jersey, 287. There's a tractor trailer on fire, so that kind of backed me up. So I apologize for being late to my colleagues and to the fans of the show.
Glad you're safe, brother. That's all. As long as you're safe.
Yeah, so I just wanted to drop in and say hello, but I'm gonna stay on for the rest of the show. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. So anyway.
We're talking about is the Democratic Party bad for black people?
Oh, I missed that show. Crap.
No, go ahead, chime in right on time.
Yeah. Let me show one more video. Let me show a couple more videos.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Unfortunately, African American people still are under the illusion that the Democratic Party is for them. But from the very beginning, even when the slaves were freed, the Democratic Party started the KKK. For what? To harass black people. And that's the same thing to this day. The Democratic Party is put in place to make sure that black people, African American people, never ever succeed in America. To make sure that we never ever get out of the ghettos. That's why they tell us everything we need to hear. And then when we vote for them, they give us nothing in return. They don't give us anything. You know why? Because that's their job. The more success that African Americans have in this country, they know, the less likely that you will vote for them. And that's why we have this immigration situation, because they're bringing in their new voters. Because they know. Does it really upset you that the Republican Party said, we're not going to give you anything. If you want it, you got to go get it on your own. Does that upset you? I appreciate that much better than people making me promises and don't give me anything in return. But the Democrats, they take and use George Floyd. And then with the riots and everything, they use what? Black Lives Matter. Sad, sad, sad. And then even with the vaccines, the initial thing was a black woman created it. When Bill Gates, there's a video from way back in 2001 where Bill Gates was talking about working on a vaccine with other laboratories. But yet we still don't get the picture. We have the Congressional Black Caucus. Can you name one thing that they've ever done for black people? You can't. Sheila Jackson Lee, Maxine Waters, Cory Booker, all those guys, they're there to give you the illusion that the Democratic Party is for you. But their job is to make sure that you do not have success in America. And that's the same thing that's going on now with Braggs. He's a local DA in New York City, but he's going to indict Donald Trump, who's on the federal level. There's no way in the world that would happen. But you know what? It's just going to be thrown away. You know, that vaccine, it's, oh my, a black woman created it. Go out and get that shot. They do not mean you well. But the Democrats have collapsed the economy, and you're going to feel it. And you know what? That's why they haven't done anything about it, because it was a manufactured collapse. Good luck.
All right, Kev, you want to take that on?
Hey, Carl, I've had a stressful day. You want me to punch my computer again? Yeah, I want to take that on. First of all, let me say this. Brother needs to do some homework. Matter of fact, if he's watching this show, he needs to go back and Google and do some research on President Nixon, and you do some research on President Reagan, and then get back to the Black Therapy Show and holler at us. Because until you do some research on the two presidents I just mentioned and find out the harm that those Republican presidents did to the Black community with their Nixon and Reagan, who, by the way, was on a phone call together calling Black people monkeys. That came out like 4 years ago. I don't know if you guys remember that. Those two. Uh, Reagan at that time was was in the Congress, I believe, for California or governor of California. He was on the phone with Nixon, and they were referring to Black people as monkeys. Nixon was the president at the time. But anyway, if you just do the research, I'm not going to do the research for people because everybody watches the show as an adult, and they can do their own damn research. You know, I'm not going to sit here and do your research. I've done my research, and I'm not saying the Democrats are perfect. They're far from perfect, far from perfect. But I know what the Republicans have done to this country and for Black people. And if you go back and do your homework on Nixon and Reagan and the whole crack war, the whole crack epidemic, Google that whole Ronald Reagan crack thing, and get back with me if you want to debate me on this, because I've done my homework and I'm ready. So, as I said on the show many times, yes, people are working 2 or 3 jobs to make ends meet. In the Black community, people have side hustles to make ends meet. In the Black community, people are living paycheck to paycheck in the Black community. If you think white people aren't, of course they are. They are too, you know. And to pretend like Black people are not doing well, that would go back once again to this whole thing that Black people are all struggling in America, when Black people aren't all struggling in America. There are plenty of Black people doing very well in this country right now, not just entertainers, not just athletes, but people in business are doing very well in their lives right now, running their own businesses on many different levels, doctors, lawyers, all sorts of people of color that are doing very well in the United States of America right now. So to act like we are all living in the hood and we're all don't know where our next meal is going to come from is BS. Now, people get on our show and debate me on Democrats and stuff like that, and they say what the Democrats did bad and they're not good for Black people, and what have they done for Black people? So I'm gonna challenge all the people that say that. What the F have Republicans done for Black people?
Well, we actually was talking about that earlier, where we did start out as Republicans, and during the late 1800s, it changed over.
Do you know why, sister? Do you know
Yeah,
why?
because they said that the Republicans abandoned the Blacks and was like, listen, let the South do what they do. You know, we are getting into business because they made a lot of money doing the changeover. So it's a lot of politics, and I get it. I get what you're saying about the two, Reagan and Nixon. They were off the hook. They started a lot of nastiness that a lot of us to this day is suffering now with the grandchildren of the crack epidemic.
Yeah, we got a lot going on in Nixon and Reagan did to the Black community that
Oh my
affects us
God,
today.
still to this
And
day.
yeah, we everybody jumps on Joe Biden about the laws that he passed for the 3 strikes law. But the 3
Yes,
strike
we are
law would
all racist. We know that.
the 3 strike law would have never even been needed if it wasn't for Ronald Reagan. All right, so we can talk about Bill Clinton, and a lot of Black people believe it or not, if you do more research, were for the three-strike law. It wasn't like it was all white people. There were a lot of black people that agreed with the three-strike law, because a lot of black people were living through the crack epidemic, and we saw what it was doing to our communities. And not nobody. I can't think of anybody who hasn't have a family member that's been affected by crack
By
cocaine,
drugs. Yeah.
by drugs and crack. I know
Yeah.
firsthand. My family has in a very bad way,
Yeah.
very bad way.
I feel you.
We have suffered from drugs in my family, personal family, on many levels, which I won't go into right now. But yeah, so and a lot of black people were Republicans because um, General Grant was a Republican who fought hard for black people to be free. Lincoln was a
Yeah.
Republican. So a lot of black people were Republicans back then because it was Republicans that freed the slaves.
Yeah.
And it was Democrats that, yes, created the KKK.
Yes, they did.
Now, that all switched over, though. A lot
Yeah.
of when the civil rights started, and Kennedy, the Kennedy brothers were working along Dr. King, working along with Dr. King, among others, and his crew to pass the civil rights law, called the TIF.
Yeah.
A lot of Democrats were upset about that. And read about and Google Strom Thurmond while you at it, guys. Everybody watching this show. Google. So what happened was the Democrats left the Republican Party, left the Democratic Party and became Republicans, and because they were upset very much with Kennedy over the civil rights thing. And then, of course, it was the whole story, which I'm rambling because it's so much. It's so
Right.
deep and
It's
so
a
much
whole
involved.
story.
But they switched over to the Republican Party, and then a lot of that was Nixon, and then Reagan, and even George Bush Sr. used a lot of racial tactics and scare tactics to get the Republican Party to vote for them. Because they started doing the same thing that we're doing right now. The same thing that's happening right now, where all these immigrants are coming into our community and they're going to take over and they're going to rape us and they're going to kill us and they're living in our hotels down the street from my house, and all this fear going on, calling TIF about these immigrants coming here now to New York City and all over the country. And the same thing happened. The Republicans used the same tactics. The former Democrats, I may say, that turned Republicans use the same tactics. Ronald Reagan and all of them use the same tactics. Only they use black people instead of Spanish people. The black people are going to kill you. They're going to be living next door to you.
Right. They just changed it up. Right.
Yeah, they changed it up. They're busing black people to your schools now. They're living next door to you. So it's the same thing. 50 years later, now it's the Spanish people. They're using that as a fear tactic.
It's like history is
repeating itself. Exactly.
Just a different nationality.
Yeah. So I just urge everybody. Look, I'll be the first one to tell you, Biden has done some stuff I'm not happy with, and Obama did some stuff I'm not happy with, and Bill Clinton did some stuff I'm not happy with.
All of them dead.
They're all dead. But if you look at the Republican Party today, Google Marjorie Taylor Greene and all these fools that run around here with these Confederate flags. These people, want to start a race war.
Look, you not to cut you off. You said something about what's her name, Marjorie
Taylor Greene. Yeah, okay. A Republican, by the way.
Yeah. So I just saw something with her. She was doing a debate with Mr. Jamal Bowman.
Yes.
And she, they was debating, they was talking, Do you know she went on TV and said he was too aggressive, made her feel uncomfortable, and he's intimidating, and they need to work on this.
Oh, did you see that clip?
Serious? I sat and saw the same interview. He didn't do none of those things.
No. Did you see that clip, Carl? It is the number one. It's a perfect example of what got Emmett Till killed and what get black men killed all the time.
Yeah, the nasty ass Karens. That's what it did.
It was Karen on steroids, what she did. But she's a nasty lady, and she also, Donald Trump who's a Republican, by the way, who's leading the Republican Party right now for the nomination, just called the black police officer at the Capitol, one of the black police officers that were at the Capitol, a thug, on national television 2 weeks ago. Called him a thug, a black police officer who shot and killed the lady who was going into the Capitol. He called the guy a thug. You know, so you want to vote for these people, go vote who you want to vote for, but do your homework and see who you're voting for.
You got to do your homework. I saw another black guy that's coming out. He is called Tim Scott. What's up with him?
Oh, Tim Scott is another. You know, it's a shame that we got the Tim Scotts of the world, and this guy that Carl showed us last week. Was it last week you showed us that guy, Carl? What's his name?
Mark Robinson.
Mark Robinson, Tim Scott. These guys are very dangerous because this chick that runs around, I can't think of her name right now. Excuse me for calling her a chick, but you know what I'm talking about. The black lady, the black Republican that's always talking bad about black people, whatever her name is. Candace Owens. Candace Owens has no power. She talks all the smack. They put her on all these networks because racist people love to hear black people talk bad about other black people.
Yeah.
But she has no power. But Tim Scott and Mark Robinson and those type of guys, they do have power because they're elected officials. And they do have power to hurt black people. So they're very dangerous. Tim Scott's very dangerous. This guy, Mark Robinson, is very dangerous because these guys.
That's sad that your own people can be dangerous to your enlightenment.
And I hate to say it, I sound like my man now, but all of these people, Candace Owens is married to a white man. Mark Robinson is married to a white woman. Tim Scott.
What's that about?
Tim Scott is in the closet. He ain't came out yet, but.
What's up with these political officials? They only get in if they're married to a white person.
Yeah. They know.
If Obama was married to a white woman, he would have never became president. Put your stamp on that.
Yeah,
that's true. If he had a white woman on his arm, he'd have never became president of the United States.
Let me see if this is a clip you guys were talking about.
I feel threatened by him, yelling, shouting, raising his voice. He has aggressive, his physical mannerisms are aggressive.
Oh my goodness. I mean, it's so nonsensical that it's comical. You can see clearly in the video that we were like playfully jousting with each other. She was laughing, I was laughing. We were talking about each other's party and certain issues. So the demeanor and the disposition, you know, on the steps, it was playful. We were going after each other. Yeah. So for her the next morning to say what she said, I mean, it's a complete 180, number one. It's no longer comical now because now you are using historical racist tropes toward black men, menacing his mannerisms. I'm afraid that's the stuff that got, you know, Trayvon Martin killed, Tamir Rice killed, Michael Brown killed. I mean, I believe Officer Darren Smith literally talked about his presence and his strength as an excuse for killing him. And this has happened to black men historically. And so now we're in a dangerous space. And that's why I wanted to be really, really clear to reporters today how reckless and dangerous her statements were. And she should know better. I believe she knows better. This is another reason why we need to teach the accurate history of America in our schools and make sure African American history is a part of that, because her rhetoric and her behavior in Congress outside of me, pictures with the AR-15 with the squad behind her, chasing David Hogg and stalking him as he engaged in activism around gun violence. Her rhetoric, her language, her behavior has been aggressive and intimidating since she's gotten into Congress. Now she's trying to displace it onto me.
I want to say also that if this gesture, which you were doing, is aggressive, then all of my paisans.
That's right. That's right.
They are in trouble.
That's New York City right there.
And can I say something? She wants to run as Donald Trump's vice president, by the way. That's true. And also the guy in Florida, DeSantis, who's doing everything in his power to make black people vanish off the face of Florida. He's banned black books, black history, black everything. He's a Republican. Show me the last time in the last 50 years that a white president, excuse me, a Democrat at that, has done anything what DeSantis is doing. And I just want to hear.
But don't the people can fight? Can't the people say something about it? If the people sit there and don't say anything about it, the black people are not out there talking about it, right into Congress, right into what's going, it's nothing going to happen. So the reason why he's able to do that is because they allow him to do that. In Florida, y'all should be standing up for y'all history.
You know what Florida should be doing? And this is what me and Carl talk about all the time. All the baseball players of color, all the NBA players of color, all the athletes, all the entertainers who live on South Beach in these multi-million-dollar mansions, they should be the ones that are saying, we're leaving Florida. We're not spending any money in Florida.
Taking their money out of there. That's right.
With Disneyland, Disney World, I apologize. Disney World is about to leave Florida right now because of DeSantis. He's pissed them off so bad, they're looking for somewhere else to go. But this guy's a Republican, by the way. And all these bad things that Republicans have said about black people over the last, since Donald Trump has been in office, and all this racism that we see, and all this January 6th stuff, where you saw all these people with Confederate flags and all these racist people on the mall on January 6th a few years ago.
That's what
Those
made me
are all
wash my hands.
Republicans who would rather see Carl, Tiffany, and Kevin hanging from a tree if they had it their way. Those are who you want to vote for.
Undercover Democrats too, okay?
I'm sure
they found out a lot of them was down with
it racist too. Democrats. There's racist Democrats.
Police,
I'm sure there's racist Democrats in my neighborhood. You know, I live in a diverse neighborhood. I'm sure I see racist Democrats every day. We both do. But they're not running the country right now. They're not, I mean, they're not, I'm saying they're running the country. I'm saying they're not being a racist Democrat and being a police officer. Yeah, that's dangerous if you're a police officer and you're a Democrat and you're racist, right? But or a fireman or anything, work at a grocery store, you could be a Democrat and be racist. You're right, 100%, Tiff. We're just talking about the majority of our government, as far as Republicans, who have put up with Donald Trump and allowed this guy to basically take this country 60 years backwards over the last 5 years since he came out and said President Obama wasn't born in this country. You know, I mean, saying all Mexicans are rapists and they're all coming here rapists and murderers. And Obama wasn't, you know, he degraded the first black president. We only have one black president. He can't even be the president without having to show his birth certificate because Donald Trump.
Right.
I mean, he's a Republican. So all I'm saying to my audience is do your homework. Yes, you're going to find out there's some bad Democrats. Democrats pass some bad laws. They ain't do anything they promised to do, whatever you want to say. But
we the people, we have to stand up and we have to fight for our community and our rights and make sure we pick the right people that go in those offices and become officials.
Derek Chauvin, by the way, who choked George Floyd to death, was a registered Democrat, but he voted Republican. Google it. He had a house in Florida, and he went to Florida and illegally voted Republican for Donald Trump. It's all there. You can Google it. And he lived in Minneapolis, where he was a cop. Where where did he kill George Floyd? That's Minneapolis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a police officer, registered Democrat, but he owned a home. Him and his wife owned a home in Florida, and he went there to do his fishing, and that's where he hung out in his off time when he wasn't, on vacation at his house. And he legally voted Republican for Donald Trump. That all came out when he got busted and all this stuff happened, but it would have never came out if the George Floyd murder didn't happen, right? But he's secretly voting as a Republican, even though he was registered as a Democrat. So there's a lot of stuff going on, with these people, but yeah, there's no comparison as far as I'm concerned.
If they can look at the two parties and if these black people, let me show this one in a clip of this brother.
The problem is my main detractors are black liberals. And I'm letting them know, listen, I'm out here trying to help the community the same way y'all supposedly trying to do that, but y'all ain't really trying to help the black community because y'all ain't doing nothing but trying to shame other black people for thinking differently. But this is what I want to say. How the hell are you going to talk about something being racist when you voted for Joe Biden? Biden did a eulogy for a well-known KKK member. He told you ain't black unless you vote for him. He basically told you, hey, we got your vote in the bag for nothing. That's what he basically told you. And guess what? You stick up for that. You fight for that. Now, the Democrat Party is not for black people. They for the LGBTQ. Come on now. Any party that wants to mutilate and castrate children, you already lost my vote. I don't even care because I'm a godly and moral man first. So you already lost my vote. So you're going to sit here and fight for the Democrat Party when they talk about mutilating, castrating children. Also, trying to put homosexual stuff inside your children's books and schools. Yeah, but that's what you want? That's what you black liberals want? Or that's what liberals want in general? So let me tell you, when you vote for this is what you're voting for in power. You're voting for this inflation. You're voting for these open borders for fentanyl to be dumped into our community. You're voting for the detriment of the black community because ever since we've been voting for these things and voting for the Democratic Party for the last 60 years, our families have been obliterated. We're voting for our own detriment. So a lot of people don't understand these things, and I'm trying to let people know, hey, you don't, just because they put a black label on it, don't mean it is for you.
All right.
Real quickly, he left out that the Republicans just passed a law and reversed Wade, Roe versus Wade. Now women don't have a right to choose.
They're picking.
A woman was, I think she was 13 years old, was raped. 13-year-old was raped, and I believe, was it Texas? She was raped, and she couldn't get an abortion because of this new law.
She had Ohio. She had a.
Yeah. So, and she was raped.
They said they wasn't going to allow that. And my thing is, y'all got to be out there fighting. I don't understand how white men can tell us what to do with our bodies.
You left out Republican white men. Because that's who's doing it.
I feel like all of them are the same. No. I think it's just one wear blue, one wear red. One is covered up, one is more outgoing. They more out with it. I think they all the same, but I don't think anybody should tell us what to do with our human bodies. It should be our choice.
Okay, on that note, we're gonna wrap it up. Kevin, thank you for jumping in.
Hey, glad to be here, guys. Glad to be here.
Tiffany.
Always.
Thank you so much. And as we do always, Tiffany, anything you learned today or you want to share?
Well, it's for the people. The people, you have to go out there. You have to vote for people that are for you and remove the people that are not for you. Okay. If you don't say anything, nothing is going to happen. Okay. Parents, please watch and protect your children. There's a lot going on out there. But like I said, I want to send condolences to those two little boys that was found in the Harlem River. We have to send out love to them. It's just a lot. So we send out our condolences, our prayers. Happy belated Mother's Day to a lot of people. I know we just had our Mother's Day. So give a shout out to people. Also, we need to stop with the bullying. I don't care if you are an adult, a child, a baby. Stop bullying. People are being affected by bullying. A young lady lost her life that she was getting bullied so bad in school. So please.
Committed suicide or
she committed suicide. And at 13 years old, I actually asked the friend of the family, I would like to talk about her, but you have to have permission from the family before you talk about anybody. But I do want to bring up, we have to protect our children. If your children is telling you, Ma, I'm going through something at school, somebody's harassing me, stop what you're doing. Go find out what's going on with your children. It's life or death. Because these streets out here ain't nothing to mess with. Young people are very cruel and rude and disgusting, and a lot of them get it from home. So please reach out to your children, give your children love. We love you. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you have anything, leave a comment. We would love to know what you feel, or give us a topic we would love to talk about.
All right. Thank you, Tiffany. Kevin?
I challenge Black Republicans who secretly watch our show to come on next week and tell me what have Black Republicans or Republicans period done for Black America over the last 30 years. I'm looking forward to hearing that. Peace and
The
love.
same thing for Democrats too. We got to give it both for both of them. We want to give more. We want to find out what both of them. Let's wait them out.
All right. I want to thank everyone for checking out our show. I know taking an hour and a half out of your Sunday to spend with us. We really appreciate it, and we love you for it. And I don't say that lightly. We really appreciate you spending that hour and a half with us today. And I want to thank AB checking in with us on YouTube. Tima T, thank you for checking in. We appreciate you. G Car, thank you so much. Donna Hagen. What's up, Donna? We'll talk later. Norma Haley, Grandma, thank you so much. I'm gonna miss some people, but please don't get mad. I want to thank everybody for checking our show out. Hey, Kevin, this is our topic for next week. We were supposed to chat about it, but this is what we're gonna chat about.
You have said that you resent the idea of being called an African American, that
Yes.
you are a Black American.
Yes.
Explain.
I think that when they call Black people who were born and raised for generations in this country, if you accept the handle of African American, that says that you don't accept being an American American. You don't accept being born in Chicago or New York or Detroit or wherever you were born. For generations your family has been here, you know? Built this country too. Sweat and tears and all that, you know, fought in every war, okay? So this is my country here. So I don't want to be called African American. I'm an American American. My people have died and done everything for this country.
Why you do this? Smokey is a light-skinned Motown American.
So we're gonna jump into that next week. That should be fun. Smokey said he doesn't want to be. He's American American. He's not African American.
Well, I ain't argue with Smokey. Hey, I dig what he was saying. Some made a lot of sense, and we'll get into that next week for sure.
Yeah, I get what he's saying. I agree.
Yeah. Especially since most Africans don't like us anyway. That's a whole nother show. All right, we'll be in that next week.
That is a whole nother show. All right, people. Thank you so much for checking us out, and we will see you here next Sunday, 7 p.m. We love you. We love you. We love you. Kevin and Tiffany, I love you guys.
Love you guys back.
You guys doing it with me every Sunday. I do not take that lightly.
Glad to be here.
All right, people.
See you next Sunday.
I always do that.
What's up with you in this song, Carl?
Get the song right. Music video coming for the video, by the way, guys. We're gonna do the music video.
That's a secret. That's a secret.
Calls me holding a big fish with eyes.
With the knowledge you gain, break away from the chains. We helping you grow the Black Therapy Show. You be in a safe space, dealing with the black trauma. We unpacking and inspecting all our baggage and drama. Cause we gotta unite, no more killing each other. It's time to see a new future for my sisters and brothers. You know, with Kevin, Carl, and Tiffany, you'll have an epiphany. We'll give you everything you need to handle the enemy. We be giving you empathy, we gon' challenge you mentally. The right conversation so you grow exponentially. We built your penitentiaries, we built all your schools. Gave us brainwash education, just making us fools. Hatred was what we got in exchange for love. No more manipulation from my God up above. It's Carl, Kevin, and Tiffany. Welcome to the Black.
Boop, boop.
Go.